Welcome back to Married at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 7 review. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into last week's episode real quick for a recap. Episode 6 recap. Last week's episode, the couples were on their last days of their honeymoon. In the past episode, they hit on high points of Olivia and Brett talking about their finances. All of the couples rated their marriages. Brett wasn't happy with Olivia's rating of 7. He got in his feelings real fast.
7.5.
Yeah, and he was not happy about that. And then at the end of that episode, Amani reveals that she had sex with Woody.
That's right.
Yeah. That's episode 6. Let's get into episode 7. This review of episode 7 is going to be another high-level overview of what went on. But this episode was actually kind of good.
I don't know what she talking about. I'm getting in the weeds.
All right, well, we can get in the weeds, but it was actually a really good episode. So the show opened up with the couples arriving back to New Orleans from their honeymoon, and they were entering their new apartment that they're going to share. All the couples are living in the same apartment complex, and they show Amelia and Bennett in their place, checking out all the rooms, all the bathrooms. And then Bennett asks Amelia which of the toilets from their 2 bathrooms do they want to keep as a regular toilet versus a toilet sink.
Well, we can have one for, doing toilet things and one for doing hygienic things.
Do you wash your hands in the toilet?
In the toilet bowl.
Yeah, you weren't doing that on vacation, but is that just like
That's more of a home thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Which one do you want to do the toilet?
What was that, Patrick? Like, does she really wash her hand in the toilet? Please tell me she's joking.
I know you lying.
Please tell me she's joking.
I know you lying. Please tell me I'm not catching the sarcasm and this is a joke. Because if this is not a joke, then this is a problem.
But she's a doctor, so how could you not know?
Not my doctor.
I mean,
not my doctor.
You can't come in my room with those hands.
Doctor of who? Of what?
You'd be like,
Are you sterile? Yeah. Oh, no. I sit this one out. I'm going to go home and sweat it out, drink some Robitussin.
I've never in all my 37 years heard of somebody washing hands in the toilet.
And can nobody tell me different?
I hope it's a joke.
Ugh.
Please tell us it's a joke. Next scene shows the couples waking up in their shared apartment for the first time. They cut to the next scene where they are going to each other's houses to pick up their belongings, and then each spouse gets to see their spouse's house for the first time and how they're living. So first couple up to check out their houses or pack up their places is Olivia and Brett. And Olivia takes Brett to her house. Brett is not impressed.
No.
At all. He is like, everything is really old in here.
She's like, well, my parents do own an antique store.
He played her.
Seeing my place is that he sees like a welcoming home, somewhere where he could see himself living. Eventually, so this is my living room.
There's a lot of antiques.
Parents own an antique store. I don't own it, but I just like my little bubble and I don't want to leave. So I would love it if in the future we got to move into my house.
This is obnoxiously pink. It's like a Barbie threw up in there. It's so pink.
He feels like her house is a rental, and anyone who would rent this place would be throwing your money away. But Olivia wants Brett to move in there eventually.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Unknowingly to him. Yeah, I don't believe that he would go for it.
But why would you?
Yeah. So then he takes her to his house to see how he's living, because his house he has purchased on his own.
Yeah, he owns.
He said he's made some smart choices, made smart decisions. He saved up and got this house. But she went in there and she was like shady towards his home.
My own house. Something I'm really proud of, that I managed to, buy a house despite the fact that, I don't make a tremendous amount of money. So I wanted her to like it because I'd like her to kind of be excited about, moving in there.
Everything while I'm in the kitchen, and that's my workbench and all my tools.
boyfriend's house, it's super messy, and I'll be honest, his house in general is not that great.
Olivia did not seem to care about my house at all. She reminded me of like when you're in a school field trip someplace really, really boring. Kind of made me feel like
she felt like I felt like there was tension there.
Right.
Like, and I don't understand why she walked in with that vibe.
Because she doesn't want to leave her house. She doesn't want to not talk to her friends.
Right.
She just wants a buddy to step in and be next to her.
Yeah, and
like she don't want to change anything about her life. She just wants him to step into her life and then for it all to keep going.
Right. And Brett has a lot going on for himself. It's a big deal to have a house that you own. So I just didn't like the vibe that she gave him when she walked in the door. But let's move on to the next couple. Couple up is Amelia and Bennett. Amelia takes Bennett to her house to pack up. She rents a pretty big home with 4 other roommates. And he is like highly impressed that she's living this way compared to his home.
But I still didn't get the living condition because it looked like her room was off of a living room, but it didn't have a door.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But he was still highly impressed.
Well, yeah, we find that out.
Yeah, and then Bennett now takes Amelia to his house.
Yeah, house is generous.
there it is. I get kind of nervous
to show her. Because I've been living alone in my tiny house that I built for about half a year, and not everyone appreciates it.
Do you have a bathroom and a kitchen?
I go across there to use that bathroom and their kitchen.
What?
A little nest is my home.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I really love it.
Amelia seems really impressed by my house, and it feels great.
He rented a shack, or he built a shack. I'm sorry, or a tiny house.
We used to call it a fort.
This house is essentially a fort.
It's a garage, like a...
It doesn't have a bathroom. It doesn't have a kitchen. It's just a little open space.
Did it have AC?
I have no idea, but
This is
Amelia
New Orleans.
was so impressed by this home. I think that Bennett could have showed her a trash bin and she would have been so like, oh my God, he's wonderful. Like everything is wonderful to her about Bennett. She's just so like in love with him.
He's like, I'm sorry, it doesn't have a bathroom. She's like, a sink? No, a bathroom, like a toilet.
She's like, he goes across the way to use the bathroom and there's a kitchen over there or something. But she is still highly impressed. Now let's just compare real fast with Olivia and Brett. Like Olivia goes to an entire house that he owns compared to Amelia, who is like super impressed by this tiny shack. Yes, he owns it as well. But seeing Pastor Cal visits Woody and Amani at their apartment. So the plan is to have Pastor Cal come in and dig deep into issues that these couples usually wouldn't talk about right now, such as like finances, children, intimacy.
So to come in and start some ish.
Pretty much. So Woody expresses in front of Pastor Cal that he doesn't like walking in on surprises, and it literally goes left from there.
I would say a boundary for me would be like, I don't like walking in surprises. Like when I told you about, if you decide to cut all your health, just tell me beforehand so I don't come in here and be like,
Who are you to tell me what I can do with my hair?
okay, I go out today and I say, I don't want to work at my job anymore. And I just say, well, tell me I don't want to work at my job, and then I say, bro, I'm not working anymore. You guys really truly think about it.
I think your job is a little different than me cutting my hair.
That's a drastic change.
That is completely
That is a drastic change. That's your physical
That is my
appearance.
physical appearance. That's not our livelihood. It looks different, but I'm still going to go to work and be able to pay our bills.
But then my face is going to be attracted to you still at that point.
Whoa.
How can you tell somebody what they can and can't do with their own head?
Red flag.
How do you do that? Like, you can't tell somebody you need to discuss it with me first as though you're getting
My
approval.
own appearance has anything to do with you. I don't care if we are married.
I don't remember you coming to me and say, I want to see if I could grow this out.
Well, you should remember because I needed you to braid it. But I didn't ask you if I could have braids. Like,
right. Like, or discuss it with me first to see if I'm going to still be physically attracted.
That's the dumbest stuff. Then y'all love ain't real. I don't care what you say. Like, Kamara could do whatever she wants.
As I do, as you see on my page. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. Nobody's coming for me. I'm sorry.
No. But yeah, she do what she want. I do what I want. And you got to let people be people. Like,
they're still individuals.
Why do people get in a relationship like I'm going to change them and make them be what I like? Like,
or not even change them or control them to be what you want them to be or look like what you want them to look like. That's not fair. And with that being said, let's move on to the next scene. So next scene, Henry and Christina are at Henry's place packing it up. He lives in a really tiny place as well. After they pack Henry's place up, they get outside and he says, all right, Christina, are you ready to go pack your place up? And she's like, well, actually, my stuff is just in my car and in storage. So right there, she's caught in a lie.
Basically, all of my stuff is like in my car and in storage. Half of it's in California still, so.
Christina told me she lived in the CBD, but maybe I misunderstood. You live where? Anywhere. Like what part?
Like Central Business District, downtown.
Wow, okay.
Do we not remember this girl saying at the wedding, on your wedding day, that you live in, what is it, the downtown area?
Like the downtown district.
Like down, it was a lie when she couldn't even figure out what street she was on.
Around there. And we thought she was trying to play cool, so to protect herself or something. She ain't got no own.
And flight attendants usually room with people from my,
She got a dormitory.
And that's fine. You're a flight attendant.
Be honest.
But why?
Bennett didn't go around trying to hide his clubhouse. Like, you gotta be honest.
Exactly. So right there alone makes me not trust her. I just feel like it's gonna go bad from here. Let's move on to the next scene. Pastor Cal visits Olivia and Brett. They have a discussion on finances for their future, and boy, does it get heated from there.
I've told you what I thought my concern would be, is that I want to go travel and do things, and I like to go to Saints games and do stuff like that, and I told you that I was concerned that I may not get to do those things because of financial reasons.
I mean, if you want to do those things, it's your money. I don't care.
But I want you to come with me.
If you're footing the bill,
and
sure.
Dad, I don't want to do that.
Do you perceive she's saying?
I want to go spend a bunch of money and do a bunch of expensive stuff, and if you don't make as much money as me and can't do that, then screw you.
It's not what I'm saying at all.
That's what it sounds like.
But I'm saying that it's a fear of mine that all we're going to do is live in a daily routine and never experience life together.
You have no idea how to do a budget.
No, I told him that it would be nice for him to help me budget because I have debt and I would like to get my debt down. But I also pay all my bills on time. Have you seen any of my finances?
I pay my bills. What's your point? I think the idea of just going and throwing money away.
Why must Olivia keep talking about what she asked for from these experts? And she asked for her husband who could go travel. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean cut you out, but
because she into the money. That's what she care about.
Yeah.
She's saying some of the dumbest stuff. I want a budget in my entertainment.
Yeah. She wants an entertainment budget is what she's saying.
But then she says, I'm in debt and I want to get out of debt. Well, if you in debt and you got to pay people off.
Right. And she needs to be considerate of the fact that he is clearly saying your expensive trips that you want to take throughout the year, even one of those will blow his budget and his retirement if he tried to take that, because he is just not financially there to do that. So he's trying to be responsible and pay his bills.
No, he's being responsible.
Not trying, yes. He's being responsible.
She's the one trying. She wants to be, but doesn't want to put in the work.
And she's like, I want to go to Saints games and I want to go travel, but I don't want to have to be the one to pay for it all the time. And he's like, well, then it sucks on you. I'll go with you, but you're going to have to foot the bill because I already told you where my money is looking like. So... And she said, well, he takes money and puts it into his house. He's like, yeah, I'm so responsible. Anyways, let's move on to the next scene. Next scene, Pastor Cal visits Henry and Christina. They kind of get to the root of their issues. And Henry finally comes out and speaks. And he's like, I just feel more of a friendship vibe with Christina right now. He says that I guess she's high maintenance and impatient to him. And that may be part of the reason why they probably haven't progressed.
I guess it's hard for me because I think you could be a little impatient at times. You know, like sometimes you could be like a little high maintenance.
So they haven't hugged, they haven't kissed. He feels like she's impatient.
Henry don't talk much, but when he does talk, he always says the wrong stuff.
So pretty much he's telling her that she's aggravating.
Yeah.
I mean, when you say somebody's high maintenance and impatient, that's aggravating.
And they've been patient. I know she's mad because in her mind, she's like, impatient. Impatient.
She's about to get impatient now.
We ain't hugged, we ain't held hands. Impatient.
Exactly.
There's some smile with. Ew.
If shut down was a person. So Henry apparently shuts all the way down when he ain't feeling you.
Yo, he can't call him a liar.
He won't speak on it, but when he does speak on it, he clearly don't like her like that. That's funny to me because we're all like, what's up with him? And he just don't like her. Here we are saying other people don't like each other. Henry don't like her.
Tell you, Henry gonna end up with that girl that was drunk at the wedding. This is
his best friend. His best friend. Yeah. Let's move on to the final scenes of this episode. Final scenes. Pastor Cal has made his way down to the last floor of the building. Everywhere in this building.
They're about to kick these two off the show.
Pastor Cal has made his way to Karen and Miles' house now. And Karen goes into telling Pastor Cal how she feels like her and Miles are still strangers. She's still trying to get used to being married. And she's trying to say that she's not opening up to Miles because she's afraid of being hurt.
Why is there such a fear of letting your true self out, or letting your feelings be shown? What are you afraid of someone seeing?
I don't think I'm afraid of someone seeing something. I think I'm afraid of someone hurting me.
You don't believe so? She starts to cry, and then I feel bad for her because I'm like, is this blink 3 times if you're okay, Karen?
Karen don't like Miles.
She don't want to be there.
And Miles is so into her and willing to do everything. I seen dudes like this. It's horrible.
He's like, I put my feelings on the back burner as long as she's happy, I'm happy, I'm here for it.
You know how I know she don't like it? I would advise you not to do that.
Yeah. She was like, I caution you to not do that.
Because I don't like you.
Yeah. Say that. She might as well.
I'm here for the next 7 weeks.
She's like, so just feel how you want to
eat
feel.
up this airtime, and we might play date after that if they gonna put us on the show. But I don't like you.
And that's simple. I mean, I don't know if her tears were tears of being afraid or just tears of being unhappy in the current situation.
Afraid of what?
She
you signed up for this. Didn't nobody come and...
Yeah, they didn't make
this ain't the Hunger Games. They didn't pick you from your sector. Like,
made
you
the odds be in your favor.
What are you talking about? I'm so nervous that you shouldn't have done this.
I'm sorry. Not the Hunger Games. You guys, that was pretty much the end of episode 7. Let us know what your thoughts are about this episode. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. This is actually getting really interesting now that they're living in one household. You're going to really see who's who.
And I like that they put them all in the same
apartment
complex so that they can interact, because it's some people not liking people on here. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and somebody's going to be running to somebody.
Olivia, I'm talking to you. You don't like him. Once you find out how much he makes, you don't like him.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And he's a jerk, and now it's going to be sparks because his attitude or the way he is mixed with her disdain for him now because of how much money he makes and what she thought the experts were going to give her.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, it's going to be definitely fireworks here in the rest of this rest of this season.
And then once Woody shows that he has a controlling outlook and she
ain't the one to be controlled.
Yes!
Amani is not the one to be controlled.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Don't change that.
This is going to get real good. Thank you guys for watching. We love you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, you guys.